Hey, Francis. Hi, everybody. I was planning on to. My dog, my 11-year-old boxer, wasn't doing so good. He was panting a lot. So I'm just finally was able to take him out, and he's resting. A little warm. So we're talking about angels today. Oh, I forgot my binder. Where's my binder? I want to bring it out somewhere. Sorry, I'm not organized today. It's been a crazy morning. Um, I had it here somewhere. I think it's here. Nope, it's not. Sorry, guys. Oh. I'm so sorry about that. I'm better organized than this. But also, I had a call from a friend of mine. I'm like, hey, I'm going live. Go check my YouTube. So angels. What can I say? There's so many of them. I like to deal with the archangels. Like you got Michael with the sword, or when he was Archangel Michael. Because he's got a sword, they think he's a protector. He can, but the protector is really Archangel Gabriel. And then you have Archangel Raphael, mostly dressed in green. He's an angel of healer. He's a healer. He heals. And then Uriel. Uriel can be moody a little bit. So a lot of people don't sometimes call on Uriel too much, but he can help with many things, like creativity, projects and stuff. But yeah. But when in doubt, you call on Archangel Michael, and he's the leader of all the archangels. And he calls and he sends the one that's appropriate to help you with whatever their skills are, because they do have skills. We here on Earth we deal with regular like angels and then archangels, and then the other hierarchies they have different jobs. They you don't call on them. Now there's Archangel Metatron, which I said I would pull cards from today. Archangel Metatron, if you can see. Now he's a very, very powerful angel. He's above Archangel Michael. Some people, have done a lot of research, or they believe that he's really Archangel Michael. Some people believe he's Enoch, who was here on earth, and then when he ascended into heaven, he became Archangel Metatron. He sat beside God. Archangel Metatron is not talked to like Archangel Michael and Raphael and all that in the Bible and some other scriptures, the Talmud, the Torah, like the Hebrews and that. They don't talk too much about him, but there is some passages that talks about that depicts him a little bit, Archangel Metatron. And they say that's why some believe that he's the voice of God. A lot of people believe he's the voice of God, but a lot of people believe that he's Enoch, who became Archangel Metatron. Either way, I don't know what all the different people believe different things. I always tell my students, whatever I say and I know for me to be true is for me. But if something doesn't resonate with you, if something you call on Archangel Metatron, you don't feel comfortable, then you don't work with that angel, right? You just leave them be. Most archangels, you call on them for help. Like I said, all the angels and archangels, they'll help. And a lot is said about angels and demons. I'm sure you've heard the term. All angels can also be demons. All human beings that are good can be also devilish, kind of, evil, right? So if people call on angels to do bad stuff, you're not working with the angelic side. You're working with the bad side, and it's not good. Even working with the angelic side, that for certain things, you need to be protected. Like anything else, when you're in doubt, protect yourself when you call on them, and you work with them. Some, like when you do seances and when you do meditations, sometimes you can have somebody come into your meditation where you don't feel good. You can say, are you from the white light? You can say it in your mind. If they're not, they will disappear because it's a law of nature. Hi, Dee. How are you? And the law of nature, if they're not good, they will disappear, never to return. Same thing, if you decide to call on an angel and you, first of all, angel will never ask nothing of you. And if you want to work with angels, then protect yourself, do your research. You should be okay as long as you do good. But when you start messing around, like some people do angel magic, but if you're trying to do something to help, use their power, help you do something bad, it's not good. It's not going to end well. Just stay away from that. Definitely stay away. I did a workshop a few years ago called Angels and Archangels, and I had my granddaughter there, and she was quite young, but she was interested in coming. And I learned a few things from her that we had never really spoke to because she was quite young. She says, "Oh yeah, I see angels and stuff." So yeah, and she told somebody that they used to come to all my classes. She did say something to her. It was almost like a message. And my friend to this day remembers that. She's like, "Wow." Yeah, probably because she's raised Catholic, right? But the hierarchy of angels. So here on earth, we have the angels, and there's millions and probably billions of angels, right? And the archangels. Now, the archangels are a little higher than the angels. They have different skills. Like I said, you want to work with healing, call Archangel Raphael. He's a healer. And then after that, you have principalities. We don't call them too much. They're a little bit above that. They don't deal with humans as much. Then you have the second hierarchy, a sphere of heavenly governors. You have your powers, virtues, and dominions. They take care of the earth and the planet and other stuff. And then you have your first hierarchical sphere of heavenly governor, counselors, sorry. You have the thrones, the cherubim, and the seraphim. There's three, well, there's 9, but there's 3 levels, and each have their own specific skills. Some angels that I've read, I can't remember if that's in the Bible where I read that. Some angels, basically their job is just to sing heavenly praise, create music. That's all they do. That's a lot. Then you have the angels that protect the universe, that protect all the planets. And they come to aid. There's angels specifically called upon when there's a lot of catastrophic events that happen on Earth. They come and help. And then we have angels on Earth. We call them angels on Earth because a lot of people on Earth are very super helpful, like saints. And sometimes you say, "Oh gosh, that person's like an angel on Earth." Well, there are angels that walk among us, but they're not the same type. They're regular angels. They're more than regular, but they're specific angels. So the seraphim are only one of the many types of angels. We may be able to speak directly to God through prayer, but He also reaches us through a variety of angels, all the angels, each with distinct duties because of their skills. There are 9 types of angels, like I said, and 3 major groups, and they're called choirs. I don't know why it's called choirs. When I think choirs, I think, singing and stuff. So many religions will speak of angels, but yet, like I said before, angels do not have any religion. They don't have a religion. There's no religion. They don't belong to any sect. Everyone can work with angels. Angels need to be asked. They will not interfere with free will. Angels love to help in any way they can. And when people say, "Well, there's so many names of angels, how am I going to remember who?" Call Michael. Michael will get the appropriate one to work with you. So when working with angels, you got to also remember, most spiritual people that I know that work with angels are very respectful. Of course, you always have to be respectful when you're working with angels. Treat them with respect for sure. Always thank them. Always thank them for the help. I'll be driving downtown, and I know I'm going in an area where it's very difficult to get a parking close to a door or close to where I'm going. And sometimes if it's pouring rain, I'll say, "Archangel Michael, help." And I find a spot and I say, "Thank you, Archangel Michael." I mean, I don't know if he's sending another angel to do the job, but anyways, he's around. But gratitude is very important. It's important in dealing with angels. It's important when you're praying. It's important in everything. So, but angels are superior beings, right, with immense intelligence and powers. The angels will make themselves visible in many forms. Um, we depict angels with wings. I mean, I have a lot of angels here. They all have wings, and I love it. I love it. But there's a lot of angels that don't have wings. I don't know when it came upon a time that maybe the archangel have wings, but the others don't. They depicted them with wings a long time ago, and now all the angels have wings. Well, no, some of them don't. Um, but they'll come to you in different forms, right? Depending on their mission, what their mission is. They play a very important role in the world and beyond that. Like I said, they each have their own duties, their own skills, and they're constantly working because there's no linear time on the other side. There's just time does not exist. It's man-made. Sometimes you'll see angels in pictures of art, and they look like, half human, like maybe a female, with the hair and the halos and the robes and that armors and wings. But like I said, not angels have wings. They just look prettier, I think. It distincts them because you get a statue that looks kind of angelic, but there's no wings. You don't know if it's an angel. Wings are meant to represent the sublimity of nature and the idea of how angels are able to leave heaven and come down to earth. I've seen things, well, I know angels exist. They've helped me a lot. But I have seen things where a person is in a dangerous situation, or they'll have an accident, a car crash, and there's no way in heck that person, normally, like with our human eyes and human thinking, would think this person would have survived that. There's no way. The vehicle's all crushed and the person comes out without a scratch. But some of them later will remember, well, I had somebody here helping me out, but there was nobody around. It was probably their guardian angel protecting them. You can't explain those things. Sometimes there's some things that have been caught on camera. I have seen things, I think it was either somebody had posted on Facebook, could have been YouTube, where it has, you see kind of these kind of beings appear and then they disappear. It's things you can't explain. It's like miracles, right? So those are angels that they help in your guardian angels and that. But what is an archangel? Well, that's a chief, a higher messenger who's above the angels. The difference between an angel and an archangel. Well, archangels have specific roles, and they have more of a connection with God, and often God does his work through them. Some believe that archangels are in the hundreds. I think there are more than hundreds, probably thousands or more. The 7 archangels that you hear a lot about in most religions, that they talk about that. That's why a lot of people think, oh no, I don't want to deal with angels. I want to ask angels anything, because they think they have to become religious. Religion talks about them, but no, they don't have a religion. Most people know Archangel Michael. Like I said, he's very famous. A few years back, I was at a friend who owns a jewelry store. Somebody came in and says, I want an Archangel medal. He wanted to wear it on his chain. Well, he came in and he asked for Saint Michael, which is the same, Archangel Michael. And then Gabriel, who's the protector. Gabriel is the one that we hear that gave the message to the Virgin Mary that she was going to have a child. She's going to be with child, and it was going to be, Jesus, Son of God. Uriel, which don't call on much. He's dressed in red. Sometimes he'll come through meditations for some people that see things and call on angels. Like I said, he does creativity. He does a few things. He can help you with spirituality as well, but not many people work with him. Raphael, dressed in green, and he's lovely. He's very patient. Well, they're all patient, but he's super, super nice. Healing. That's the angel of healing. And there's Jophiel, there's Azrael, and there's Shamael. And Shamael, some people pronounce him different as well. So how to work with angels? Well, you just speak to them. You call on them. I always say call on them at least a couple times out loud. So you're speaking out loud, and that vibration carries, and they can hear you. And once you establish a contact with an angel, and you know that he is that angel you're communicating with, you can do it telepathically in your head. And always thank them for their help. The angels, when you call on them, it is a sacred honor for them to help you. That's what they're for. That's why they were created for. Somebody asked one time, well, who created the angels? Well, apparently God did. When were they created? Nobody knows. Were they created before the planet, before the earth, or just right after? Nobody knows. I haven't found anything as to when. From my understanding, my belief, and growing up, I think when God created the angels and he created the earth and he created angels and Adam and Eve and all the animals and that, I think it was around the same time. That's what I think. But you go with what you think. There are many ways to ask angels for help. Like I said, speak out loud at least 3 times. Or in your mind, if you just think about an angel, let's say you don't feel like speaking, or you're in a position where there's a lot of people around, you don't feel comfortable to say, hey, Archangel Michael or somebody, angel help me, then you can think about that angel. They can hear you. They will hear you, even though if you're in a situation where you can't speak out loud, maybe you feel a panic attack or fear, or you're in danger, and you say in your mind, call for help, they will hear you. You can even sit down and write a note or a letter to your angels. I have a book here. It's good. Everybody calls it the Blue Book. It's Ask Your Angels. And in the book itself, it tells you how to communicate with angels. There's a meditation. You ground yourself and you clear yourself. You do the proper steps. But there's also an area where you can do automatic writing with the angels, where you sit and you just... it's a wonderful book. It's called Ask Your Angel. It's like a blue, kind of rectangular. It's not like, it's longer. Sometimes you can, in your mind, if you're able to visualize or imagine angels surrounding you, your loved ones, your home, the vehicles, you can do that. When I do meditations in classes, I call on the angels. And sometimes, depending on the meditation, I will say to everybody, call on the angels. But every meditation that I do, that I start, I call on the angels. And most of the time it's all those 4, well, there's 2 more, so there's 6 that I call on. For just protection, guidance, I call spiritual masters and teachers that can also guide. And then you affirm to, thank them for their help, in gratitude for whatever help they help you with. The angels will respond to not only your questions, but to desires as well, because they know humanly what you need. Like the angels have never incarnated on Earth, with the exception, like I said, of Metatron, which apparently some people say that he was really Enoch, that was in human form here, and when he passed, he ascended into heaven and became Metatron. So I believe that, but some people don't. That's fine. Whatever it goes with you. When I mention Archangel Chamuel, a lot of people is like, never heard of him. It's not as popular. But his name means he who can see God. He helps those with low vibrating energies through education, peace, and repair negative thoughts, such as anxiety and fear. So if you have a lot of people who have fear, doesn't necessarily mean that they're vibrating at lower energies all the time. But he's one of the angels that can definitely you can call on. With fear and anxiety, I have an experience myself. One time when I had a panic attack, I was going to somebody else was driving, and I was a bit nervous, and I was going for a procedure, so I was kind of nervous, and I'd have been anxiety. So I called on Archangel Michael, and I said, all the angels, come on, all you guys, I need to stop this, this feeling that I have right now, because it was pretty bad. And it called on out 3 times and into work. But, like I say, if you don't know the angel, you just call him. I'm sure Michael will send him over. Azrael, a lot of people, again, say, who's Azrael? Well, he's the angel of death. So Azrael is not the type of angel you call for many things. You just leave him alone. You don't call on him. He comes when people pass. He comes. And his name translates to whom God helps. when I talk to other people that know a lot about angels and I say, oh, yeah, what about Azrael? Just to test them to see if they know what they know, they'll say, oh, yeah, you don't call on him. You just leave him alone. He helps with departed souls. He helps them to, enter heaven. And people struggling with the loss of a loved one, when we're grieving, again, a lot of people will say, please, guardian angel or angels. And I'm sure Archangel Michael said as Azrael, but Azrael doesn't come as you say, can you help me with this? I mean, he could, but he's sent automatically to help. He's around you automatically to help. And he's not the one that says, okay, I'm here to help you. He's there and he works with you, but you don't have to call on him. He's there. If you want to, you call for that, but leave him alone for anything else. Jophiel, his name means beauty of God. And Jophiel is called upon it more and looked at more as the female energy. All angels are both, but Jophiel is more looked at as she. Growing up, I always thought Archangel Gabriel was more she, because with the long wings, the archangel, and she looked feminine. But Archangel, it's like us, we have a feminine and masculine side, and definitely Michael's more like masculine. It comes out as masculine, but Jophiel looks more like the female. She will guide artists, and if artists are aware about angels and they call on them, she'll help them a lot. Musicians, writers, and actors, and they bring joy into the world. Sometimes we have more than one guide that helps us, but we also have joy guides, and that's a little bit different. But Jophiel is also bring joy, bring kind of a joy guide. So when you're sad a lot and you're too serious a lot, and all of a sudden you think, well, I gotta lighten up, or somebody tells you lighten up or have fun, Archangel Jophiel can help you with bringing joy and happiness in your life. Uriel, which I mentioned, you don't call too much on, but I mean, he protects the nature. He protects and its habitants, like the animals. His name means light of God. So Uriel brings peace to the world. Well, he's got his job cut out, because I think he's working overtime and he needs to call on more angels, right? He's probably saying, hey, you dissing me right now. And for all of life on the planet. But Uriel leads those in need to natural resources such as food, water, shelter, and money. But yeah, he's got his work cut out. He needs to call in a whole army of some with the same skills as him. And Archangel Raphael, who means he who heals, his role is assisting healers. He heals too, but when you do healing on somebody or you want to send healing, ask him. He will assist in sending that healing. He helps also with personal healing for yourself, if you want healing on yourself on any level, from illnesses to abuse to addictions. He can also help with spiritual healing for those who have lost their way, or lost their way of like faith. Some people sometimes say, oh, they feel lost. Well, they're not 100% lost. They feel that way, but they're never truly lost. But Archangel Raphael can help like that. He can help with you with that. And travelers, that people that travel. My grandfather used to tell me as a young kid, Saint Christopher, he's the patron, of travelers. But you can also ask Archangel Raphael to protect travelers. He does protect travelers. Anybody going, holidays and driving, or if you're taking a plane, train, boat, he helps. Archangel Gabriel, he helps with improving communication. He's a messenger. He's a messenger of God. That's what his name means, right? He helps with all relationships. So sometimes people, if they remember to call on angels and they call on Archangel Gabriel, he can help with relationships. Sometimes miscommunications, especially when Mercury's in retrograde. But he helps with relationships, and he helps with animals, and he helps with people, and he helps with angels. Although he's an angel, he also helps with angels. Some people believe that she's the female, and others believes he's the male. So that's what I was saying. When I was growing up, Archangel Gabriel to me was female. But I could see he can be both, right? Michael, He's the boss of all the archangels. His name means he who is like God. So that's Michael is the guardian of peace. That's why he's got the sword of justice, harmony, and global cooperation. He offers us hidden teachings. It's important to ask the right questions when it comes to Michael. And in these moments, remember Michael, whose name is a question. So he who is like God, question mark, right? So most of the angels you can ask questions, but when it comes to Michael, it has to be specific questions. I wonder if he's so busy that you just get to the point. He's that type of, that temperament where stop going around the bush, just get to the point, say what you say, mean what you mean. But the word angel itself, if anybody, I don't know if anybody knows what the word angel means. The word angel means messenger of God. That's what it means. And angels are celestial, they're beautiful, they're graceful. And we all have guardian angels watching over us, all of us. Everybody is born with angels around them. You have one that is forever from every incarnation you've had, from the time you are born to the time you cross over. And during your lifetime, you have more angels that come around. Like I said, you have your joy guide. You have guides that help you with spiritual stuff. You have guides that help. If you're a musician, then they'll come to you without sometimes you knowing their name. But when you know their name or you need help with something and you say, I just need help, Michael's the one that sends the appropriate angel with the duties and the skills that they have. So the angels, why do we want to work with some of these angels? Well, it betters our lives. I mean, it does. It does help. I mean, God knows we all need help on this planet, right? So signs from your angels. People say people who cross over, sometimes they become angels. Yes, they do. They can send you signs. A lot of them that have crossed become angels and help. That's why somebody will say, well, my grandfather in heaven or my grandmother is now my angel, because they protect and watch over their family and their loved ones, right? But one of the most common signs that an angel is near or a loved one sent it and the angels became an angel and you get a sign from heaven is feathers. Most of them are white, but you can have different colors of feathers and they have different meaning. Dimes, coins that they leave behind. You could be sitting down in your home watching TV or just having a cup of tea, coffee, and you feel somebody's touching you, but you're by yourself. But you do feel somebody present, or somebody's like, you felt like you were lightly, gently touched. Could be an angel, could be your guardian angel. It could be a loved ones too. A song that means something to you. You turn the TV on or the radio in the car or radio in your home, and there's a specific song that plays, and maybe you were thinking about that song before, or that you're relating that song with a person that's passed, a special memory or something that comes. Definitely a sign from the angels. And butterflies. Butterflies represent renewal. It represents, growth, changes. But they can also send butterflies. Especially if you know somebody who's passed that when they were alive, they love butterflies. And you could be outside in the spring where it's too cold to see butterflies, and all of a sudden you see a butterfly that stands out like you can't miss. They make sure that you notice them. It's very noticeable, whether it's a bird or a butterfly or dragonflies. Oh my God, that's a message. That's an angel around you too. Doves. There's a lot of doves here. Bells ringing. You hear like a bell ring, but it's nobody again around you. You're nowhere where there's any bells. That's another sign. And a familiar scent. An angel will bring somebody's message across that, smoke the pipe. You smell tobacco, pipe tobacco, or cigar, or nobody's around you. And you think, who's here? The perfume. Anyone that comes to your mind, the very first name of the person that comes to your mind is that person. Repeating numbers. Now, I've talked about that before with my class, but Repeating numbers are definitely your angels, your guardian angels, that's saying, pay attention to this, or pay attention to that thought you had. The 555s represent changes. So changes are coming. Usually they're good changes. You get them a lot. Yeah, me too. I was getting 1111 a lot, or 111, or whether it's on your digital clock, or you're following it, the license plate has that number, and you're like, wow. They make sure you notice them. They make sure you see that. They each have a different meaning. And 1111, if you see that a lot, that's Archangel Metatron, among other things, but it's Angel Metatron. Flickering lights. Well, sometimes, yes, I know that's the angels, but a lot of times I know that it's, sometimes you could say, okay, who's here? Who's playing with my lights right now? Who wants me to know that they're here? Sometimes it's a deceased one. Angels help them to do that, or if they become angels on the other side. You're getting goosebumps for no reason. Not the same as when you channel or you do a reading and you get like an electrical current. That's not like, that's more chill. But if you get goosebumps and you're like, come on, getting goosebumps, it's hot. That's another sign that they're angels, from the angels. Books falling off shelves. Opening a page of a book. You do that. You have that thought in your mind. You're like, okay, I don't know why I want to pick up this book and look at this book, and I'm just going to open it. It's like they're telling you, do this. That's your guide, an angel telling you to do this, and you open it up, and there's your message. Books falling off the shelf. I think I mentioned that before in a reading. I was teaching something at a store, and this lady arrived before my class started, and my door was open so I could see, and they were shopping, and she had a book just fall right in front of her. I mean, she would have stepped on it. She's like, oh my gosh. And then it was the book she was looking for a long time, and there it was. She had a few signs that just brought her right to the class where she needed to be. It's amazing how they work. Orbs of white or colored lights. Definitely angels. Sometimes they're ancestors that come around, but they can be angels. Sparks of light seen in the corner of the eye. Sometimes you see that a little white, little black, like a shadow. That's them as well. The angels are always with you and watching over you, right? But as humans, we have powers too. We have powers through our thoughts. Thoughts are real. And everything's energy. They're real. Our word, very powerful, and our deeds, right? A lot of us humans, if we were to band together, I mean, by faith, you can heal. You can heal the world. You can heal a lot of people if we were to all be on the same page. But some people, it's free will, right? So to be grateful is the biggest part of the creation. And the most powerful words in the universe, in the world, is I am. Whatever falls after that is very, very powerful. So we're here to create. We're here to have passion without expectation. We're here to help and give without expectations. So that's why when I say I am are very powerful words, we have to be clear about what we want or who we are. That's why sometimes when you have a negative thought that comes in or not so positive, it's good to kind of change it back, because the universe will respond to I am. But when your wants and you ask for angels for help, and then you have a negative thought, then that kind of either sets you back from having what you're going to have, or you're not going to have it, because now you're putting a negative in there. So we have to always be positive, because positive thoughts is what creates. The others kind of undo stuff, right? So we got to be, observant of our thoughts. Thoughts put into action by a collective group, like a group of people, definitely can heal the earth and people. A lot of people, our own judgments keeps us from joy, and our expectations keeps us in suffering a lot of time. So when you want to send healing, and I mentioned that, I think was it yesterday? Send healing, healing like from the heart. Send healing. It helps everybody. The 2-minute meditation I shared, we had a talk about it, and I put it on there. That's a really good one to kind of help you learn about meditation, because I shared that with a lot of people when talking about angels as well. Because you just need a couple of minutes to quiet your mind and call on them. And of course, I shared like a healing prayer with them when I did that. And that's a lot of information on angels. And I promised I would do something, maybe a card or two from Archangel Metatron. He comes in a beautiful box. This is by Amanda Ellis. Artwork is done by Jane Delaford Taylor. And that's a lot of beautiful, beautiful cards. Like a lot of the books. And all the back of the cards have the Merkaba, which is Metatron's cube, which is a sacred geometric shape. I was going to say figure, so I'm used to talking about figure shape. So we'll ask Archangel Metatron if he has any messages for everybody who's looking today or going to check later. This Archangel Metatron says Self-Mastery Oracle. It's an oracle deck. And it's a kit. When I purchased this, I was debating between this and there was another one. I think the other one was Michael. I'm not sure. But I know a lot about Archangel Michael. So I thought, no, I needed to have this. So we'll see. What message does he have for us? Anybody and everybody. Fire. That makes sense. Archangel Metatron is fire. Dragon strength. And you got the dragon, and what do you have? Pyramid. Pyramid's shape is sacred geometry, and it's very powerful. Very powerful geometric shape. It says here, one of the most powerful allies in this deck. Dragon, love dragons. The Metatron Fire Dragon roars into your life, giving you strength, courage, and fortification. So this dragon is here to burn away and transmute any lower energies that have been around you. So if you've gone to the store the past few days and people are stressed, Christmas is around the corner, or they're sad, they've lost, somebody, and your energies just feel like just kind of a bit lower, not negative like the other stuff I was talking about, but just lower energies that have been around you. Sometimes even toxic people that you don't think they're toxic, that you don't know. The neediness of some people. A lot of people are needy. A little more needy than normal. Some negativity, fear, anger. Well, you are reminded that as a light worker, there is a need to protect and purify your energy at all times so that you don't become depleted or susceptible to darker energies that may see your light and try to bring you down. That's what I talk when I say sometimes, psychic vampires, or they're not real vampires, but you're with someone, you think it's okay, but you leave that person, whether it's at work or they visit or you visit, and you leave there so drained. You think like, wow, am I tired? Am I hungry? Am I thirsty? What's going on? I'm just so depleted. Well, that person's energy depleted you. Probably talked about negative stuff. Maybe what they're going through is not really good, but it's still, unless you're protected, it will deplete you, and you want to help them and you want to listen to them, but you have to protect yourself before you go there, because if they keep draining, getting drained all the time, then your vibrations are not at the same vibration as that person, and eventually you may not want to be around each other because you're vibrating here and that other person vibrating there. There's no better person, but it's just that person hasn't grown to the same and not vibrating at the same level as you. So you have nothing to fear. The fire dragon is here to safeguard you, your home, and those you love. Call on him whenever you need him. He flies before you with a mighty wingspan and piercing eyes, able to clear your path and remove any dangers. And he is able to see All this from his skyline position, including that which is beyond you, or behind you. Sorry. The pyramid that I mentioned contains Metatron's orange flame in it. You got a little orange flame in there. And this is here for you anytime you feel an attack of your power, base, or divine self. The tetrahedron shape of the pyramid links to your solar plexus, which is your chakra, and the dragon brings this powerful energy toward you to lift away any fear or negativity that sits in your core, trying to make you feel small. You've had that happen, yeah. So when we leave our home, it depends to what you do, but we should protect ourselves. Our guardian angel will protect us against severe danger. Like if you're driving somewhere and you're speeding, or sometimes prevent you from an accident. But we have to do the work where we protect our aura as well and strengthen our aura. If you know you're going to a mall to do shopping, if you're going to a grocery store, anywhere we go out of our home, we should surround ourselves at least with white light. That's the moderate protection. But if you're doing readings, if you're doing healing, especially readings, then you need to protect yourself a little bit more because there's all kinds, right? People, some are skeptics, some are just, they come in and their energy and your energy will blend together. And that person, let's say, came back from a quarrel. Maybe they had a fight or something negative, or they were around a negative person. That's still in their aura if they didn't protect themselves, and they can bring that to you. So you don't want that. So with this, whether this is your own doing or someone else's attack on your confidence, this dragon is here to remind you that you are powerful beyond measure. His raw strength mirrors your own, which is why he often flies in when you're facing great difficulty, real difficulty, telling you to dig deep, see beyond the immediate problem, and transmute all that is no longer needed into the fire he carries around him. That's why I love to do the full moon rituals. I just love it. We burn away and we ask that everything that's negative, everything that's obstacles are removed, that's can hinder our spiritual growth, anything that lowers our vibration, anything that doesn't serve our highest best, we want to get rid of that. And it's important if we do this like once in a month with the full moon. It's amazing. You can do it on new moon too. His fire won't burn you. I mean, it'll provide heat sometimes, and same as Archangel Raphael, when he gives a healing, you feel hot. It'll provide you with courage to keep you going through tough times. So he also reminds you of the need to have fire in your belly. So to speak up, to be heard, stand up for what you believe. So maybe there's an injustice around you. Life is not about all fairness sometimes, right? You have a strong, passionate views that others need to hear. He asks you not to be afraid to fight for what you know is right and fair. There are times both in the collective and in our individual lives when this is necessary. Leave no space for being walked over, disregarded, or ignored. Instead, call on your spiritual might and insight to tackle what needs facing with love, with strength, and conviction. The dragon will stay for as long as he is needed. And until any challenge is won, he fights for the light, understanding that darkness exists, but knows he is equipped with everything needed for anything he may need. And he will win and have your best interests at heart always. One of nature's correctors and balancers. Call on his fire to help you today. Yesterday, I did post the picture. I took pictures. They're big cards. I took a picture and posted them, and it automatically goes in the community on my page. And it cuts a big chunk of the card, and I couldn't figure out. I thought I'll mail it to myself and then maybe save the picture. It didn't do anything. They're so big that when I put the card there, it cuts half of it sometimes. But he's the fire dragon strength. So yeah. So that's Yeah, it's pretty good. Now, I mean, like I said, you can work on with angels. You can work with call them, thank them. A lot of times I'll call on an angel and I'll say, I need help with this, and I thank you. I say thank you right away. Not that I know I'll forget, but I always say thank you right away because I know, I trust, I have faith they always help. So if you at the beginning you want to thank them after you receive what it is, fine. But just remember to yeah, and be grateful. I was going to yeah, Archangel Metatron is not somebody you call all the time. For a parking spot or something like that. Even sometimes I feel, call on Michael and he's busy, but um, Archangel Metatron is, I'll call sometimes on him for protection when I do a circle, when I do a meditation. I don't call him for readings or anything, but I know he works with me. And so I was surprised when I learned that at one point I was utilizing a tool that helps develop your intuitions and stuff. And I asked, who's here? Who's working with me? It was him. And I thought, whoa, okay. So, but I would never, God forbid, ask anything crazy or, yeah, I have high respect for them. Very high respect for all the angels, for all that they do. Even the angels that we don't work with, that take care of, the universe and everything else that does. It does take a lot of angels to do everything that we have. Respect, yes, very much so, very much so. Our creator messengers. I mean, yeah. So, call, say fire dragon, or just call on the angels if you forget and say, yeah, remove those, those influences around me, the negative feelings that you get sometimes, or you call on them. They will help. Anybody have a question? I think my husband's up. I heard him. So he's probably going to take our dog out again because he's probably outside and he doesn't know I took him out not too long ago. But I mean, yeah, 1111. Oh, the numbers. I think I posted that on my on at least somewhere around there. I did post. Yeah, you tripped the other day and was lucky you didn't hit the wall. And boy, thank your angels. Yes, you were protected because otherwise you could have had serious hurt, serious damage for sure. Um, so if you do call on Archangel Metatron, the way you know he's going to be around you, there's specific ways that you know he's around you. The one way that I mentioned earlier is 1111, and I knew this is angel. There are angel numbers, or spiritual numbers, but some angel numbers they have different, a little close to the same meaning, and definitely 1111 is Archangel Metatron. He's apparently, like I said, the voice of God, right? But he's the strongest. I mean, years ago, when I heard about Metatron, I didn't know he was an archangel. Then they said, "Oh yeah, Archangel Metatron." But he's powerful. He's the top. Yeah, bright lights, swirls of lights could be him. Unique smell, but when Metatron is near, apparently you smell herbs. And I remember one time smelling, I think it was basil or oregano really strong, and I wasn't near herbs and spices, and sometimes flowers. Uh, Flowers, you're in your home, you have no flowers, but you'll smell. That's another sign that he's around you. Sometimes when you get down about something and you need to have happier thoughts, he can come around and elevate those thoughts. He can replace negative thoughts with positive ones. If you ask for help, he can also do that. Um, Tingling on the crown chakra. That I wasn't too sure. I know that your crown chakra, when you meditate, sometimes it'll open up, but the tingling, it could be also. They say Archangel Metatron is near, so he's causing that. It's the way he's supporting you. That's just a sign to know, hey, I'm supporting you. I'm around you. And the 1111, he's also saying, I'm here, but he's also saying, I'm trying to work with you. So if he does come around and want to work with you, you can meditate and ask, okay, um, why are you here? What are you here to help me with? You can ask your angels, you can ask them the question over and over. You can ask, what is 1010? 1010 is definitely double changes. I'm going to get my it's double changes, but it's something else too. Let me get my book. I always keep that here because we all, there's so many things I have to remember. Okay, 1010. So it doesn't say multiples of 10, but it talks about spiritual meaning of 000. But 1010 to me is double fives. And when I've seen that in my life, it's double changes. Like there's a change and there's a quick change right after. But they don't talk about 1010 too much. Because when you reach the 9 in a cycle of life, you start back and it could be, you call that a 10, and that's kind of, you finish a cycle and you're starting again. Yeah, because I've never seen really 1010 pretty much anywhere. Let me see if they would talk about 1010. See if that's in here, but I haven't had too many, but that's what it represents for me. Meaning, let's see what they say. Angel number is a grounding number, means that the universe is trying to get to you to see a large role you play in the world. Showing this number is the angel's way of getting you to see how life works. Well, it's interesting because when I did research a few years back on angel numbers, the number 10 never came. Multiples of 7, 11, number 13, and then, of course, 1 to 9, and then multiples of that, but 10 never showed up. But that's what it is. There you go. It's very quick manifestation mode, so be careful to say, yes, that's what I mean. It's change. It happens so quick. It's fast. And it's saying also here, they're trying to make you see a large, the large role you play in this life. Showing you this number is angel's way of getting to see how life works. And what's it trying to tell you? Spiritual awakening, discovering inner wisdom. So it's awesome that you think, you're manifesting, your angels. Wow, they're telling you, right? It's pretty cool. Yeah. Spiritual awakening, discovering inner wisdom. They're guiding us to understand our life's purpose and what we need to do and unlocking our potential. A lot of people come to me and they'll say, I don't know what my life purpose is. And I'll tell them, sometimes it's not just one, you have many. Having a spouse, having a partner, having a business, having children, they're all different purposes. Some have bigger ones, some have smaller ones, but they're all meaningful. Apparently we've agreed to all this. Even some of the suffering that we've come to go through, which is, I don't like that part, but I'm like, why did we come here to want to experience suffering? Like silly, we were silly, but it's also associated with a soulmate or twin flame connection, emphasizing personal growth and self-love. Oh, wow. See? Yeah. But 1010, yeah, when I see that, to me, it's double five. You don't like that? Well, again, free will. If you meet somebody, if they're saying here, it could be, but self-love is definitely, we need to have self-love. We need to love ourselves fully before we can love somebody else. Like truly, I wish they would teach that in school. They would teach meditation and self-love and self-confidence and a lot of self-esteem. A lot of the people, I could say grade 9 to grade 12. Some of them don't have that. They should be taught a little bit about that and have healthy boundaries. I didn't grow up with a lot of healthy boundaries. I learned that later on. It's like sink or swim, right? Yeah. But, 1111, the conscious spiritual journey, a wake-up call for light workers, a validation of your thoughts. So sometimes you're thinking about something and you see 1111. it usually says, okay, what were you thinking about? And sometimes because you're put on the spot, like, what was I thinking? It's a validation that, let's say you were thinking about, I don't know, doing something specific, and you see that, that's validation. Yes, go for it. We're with you. You know, you have a hard time. Yes, your mind. Well, think of it this way: when you learn to meditate, it's a practice. You sit. You can put some soft music. If you light candles and you're allowed and you have a safe place to burn a candle, great. If not, you can have a fake candle. You don't have to. You can have some soft playing music. You don't have to. Quieting your mind is, you don't force your mind to quiet. At the beginning, you sit and you just bring your focus to your breath. Just put your hands on your belly here, just like breathe in, just feel it, like when you're breathing in, that your belly rises. And then when you exhale, hopefully exhale through your mouth. That's what I learned. Some people breathe in through the nose and exhale through the nose, but it's like, and then you feel this, getting up, and then through parted lips. Some, you don't have to go, just right. And you do this over and over. And you'll have a thought, oh, gotta do laundry. Okay, accept that thought. Just focus on your breath. That thought will go away. Then you'll have another thought. Oh, I should have paid this bill. Oh, please, I gotta go pick this up at the grocery store. Oh. When I first started meditating, I didn't meditate. I sat there and I had all these crazy thoughts. It was just nuts. I thought, my goodness. And somebody told me, just sit and quiet, and eventually you'll be able to. And it took a while. I forget how long now. But so what I did for me that may work for you, I don't know, is in my mind, I had those thoughts come in, I acknowledge them and let them go. But I tried to visually, because I'm visual, I tried to see a nice blackboard. And I'm talking a blackboard. I mean, some schools have those green blackboards. It was black, pitch black screen. And I was just trying to see nothing but pure darkness. And it was, to me, darkness is peaceful. It's quiet. I love to sleep in total darkness. And all of a sudden, after I did that for I don't know how long, when I was listening to soft music in the background, I had a candle lit, I started seeing things flashing on my black screen, my blackboard. And then later, it was like really fast clips of movies. And I'm like, whoa, what did I see? What did I just see? It's like bang, 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 so fast. And then it slowed down. And then you could see now, I mean, I just close my eyes. Sometimes even with my eyes open, I can meditate with my eyes open as well and ask for things, and it's there. But it takes practice. Meditation is a practice. Meditation is learning to quiet your mind. You're not going to do it on the first attempt, maybe not on the 10th, but do it a couple minutes a day, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Some people think they have to meditate for an hour. No, I love meditating for at least 45 minutes. But when I started, it was probably 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And sometimes when I'm rushed and I want to meditate, I'll sit and I'll try to meditate. And I know I'm very busy. I might meditate 20 minutes. It's you do what you can. Hi, Maggie. Yeah. And it could be not taking the time. Yeah, taking the time to care for yourself. I have a friend of mine who has children, and she says, well, when can I meditate? She's up very early. They're in bed early. Her husband works mostly nights. Well, wee hours in the morning till pretty much all day, comes back for dinner. But I said, and the boys were demanding. I said, well, when you take your bath, go in the bathroom and have maybe a candle if you can, or soft music if you can, and dim the lights. Take a bath and in the tub. Don't fall asleep in it. I do sometimes want to doze off. But try to breathe and have that. Try to quiet your mind through the breath. The thoughts will come and they will go, and more thoughts will come and they will go. And, she started doing that. Now, kids are a little older. Sometimes she can go in her room and just sit in quietness, or when they're in school, she can meditate. But at first, she couldn't find the time. I said, you have to find the time. Yeah. It's nice to be guided. Yes, that's true. I didn't learn to meditate by myself. Well, I'm trying to think. I was meditating before I joined a meditation group, but that meditation group was a healing group It was the same music constantly. I went there for several months. It was always the same music. And it was guided a little bit, and then it was silence for a while. And it was, I think 30 minutes. And sometimes when I was like in the meditation, I saw things and heard things and felt things. I thought, oh, I'll leave it a little longer. But then she brought us back, and I was like, I would have liked to stay a little longer. Sometimes you get things right away. Sometimes it takes 15 minutes before, or 5 minutes. But different, and try different, guided meditation. If you're following something online, honestly, myself, I haven't found too many online that I liked. But having meditated for a long time, I have my sound. I like nature sound. I'll put that on, or I'll just sit in total silence. Is gold. I know, so silent, right? So that's what I like. But I try to go back and listen to the music I used to listen to when I was meditating at the beginning. And it's still nice, but I can't get the feel of the group, because if you can find a nice spiritual group to meditate, it's wonderful. It's stronger. It's like everybody, praying together is stronger. Well, meditating with a group is all the energies of everybody in the group amplifies. So if somebody comes and they're a little tired, well, all the energy, and somebody's got lots of energy, everything's balanced. And depends who's leading the group. I've gone to several different ones. Some were I really liked, and some were, sometimes it wasn't the facilitator, but other people in the group would go into the group and make a lot of noise, squeezing their bottle of water or making constant noise. I mean, you cough, clear throat, that's understandable. But some, I know they were disruptive. I'm very intuitive, and I know some were just there for either attention and I thought, well, that sucks. It's just breaking my meditation. Sometimes I'd go back into it, but yeah. So find a facilitator in your area if you can. Maybe some spiritual churches may offer meditation. Google it. If somebody around, or you know what, if you're intuitive and some of you you're psychic, start something at your home if you feel comfortable. Have a few people. You only need a couple of people. Once a week, once every 2 weeks, whatever you like. And, get together for an hour. The healing group I joined was, we did the meditation, and then we did the healing, the spiritual healing. And that takes about 10 minutes, the most 15. So we were there an hour. We were in and out of there. We were energized until the next week. I used to go on the Wednesdays. She had it on the Wednesdays, or an older British lady. And the Tuesdays, I was like, oh my God, I can't wait till tomorrow. Can't wait. I mean, it helped me so much. That's why I do what I do. I love what I do. I know it works. I don't teach anything I haven't tried. And I've done meditation online too. I've done it with a large group of people all over Canada. I did a big Zoom. A lot of people joined. Where I guide online, and you hear my voice. I've got a couple that I videoed because I didn't want to appear where you see me doing the meditation, because a lot of times people will open their eyes and don't look at me. Focus on you. Follow your breath. I see sometimes some videos and the ladies like this. That's fine, but I don't want to. I close my eyes but still knowing that that's what I do. What I do. Yes, you can say so my mentor back then said to us, when you're meditating, if it can help you, pick a phrase or a word and say that like a mantra over and over and over. My sweater's falling. And at that time in my life, I used to pray peace. I wanted peace. Didn't have peace. I wanted peace. So I would breathe in and say, I am peace, or I am peace, or I am at peace. And I would breathe in and then out with repeating that. And all of a sudden, it's just amazing. This peace came over me. So, by saying, be still, know God, Know, be still, know God. Another mentor said that to me one time. And I said, oh, yeah. What does that do? Be still. Know God. Of course you know God, right? I mean, you're a Catholic. I was raised Catholic. And she said to me, it tells your brain to shut up. It tells your brain to quiet. Be still to your brain. Know God. And automatically it does work. It does work. Try it. Be still, know God, breathe in. Say it as many times as you need. You'll come to a point where you sit with meditation. You may say it once or twice, and bang, your mind's going to be quiet. But it's a practice. And where people say you want to meditate and you got to shut your mind, no, the mind's going to do its thing until it gets used to you sitting down and just focusing on your breath, and they'll say, okay, well, I'm just going to let her have peace. It does work. Yeah, try it. And for visualization, I always teach them to, if you're not a visual person, that's okay. In meditation, you can feel, you can sense, you can have an inner knowing. Not everybody will, in their meditation, will see pictures and movies and stuff like that, but they will feel. They'll feel a presence. Sometimes they'll hear kind of whispers, and it's difficult to make out what they say. Not all, I call them downloads. Sometimes a ring in the ear, but it's not always comprehensive to us. Number one, angels speak in their own language. It's angelic language, but a lot of times it downloads so fast. It's like if you were to play something on super fast forward, you wouldn't understand the words they're saying. It's English, but you crank it up to super fast. So it's something that we don't need to know right away, but it's information that's being given to you that later you can use. Could be later that day, the next day, next week. It'll become, it's knowledge downloaded to you at super high speed that you will need and you will utilize at a later point. So don't worry so much about that. Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I've got a couple of meditations on my channel. You try them out. I'm working on another one, but lately it's been chaos because it's everybody's birthday, daughter moved, and it's been kind of busy. But try it out, but don't give up. It'll take time, but you will get there. And don't force it. Meditation is not about forcing. Some people who they say they don't meditate, but they pray a lot, that's a form of meditation. If you go out in nature and you sit and you look at, if you're near a lake or a river, and you focus so much on that, you're not thinking about anything else. All you see is water. It's cool, it's refreshing. You just feel serenity. That's a form of meditation. That's why when you can meditate outside, or if you can be somewhere near trees and you meditate, it's amazing. It's amazing. You just sit quiet. You don't have to think about meditation. Just sit there and absorb the wonders of everything around you. That's a form of meditation. Yeah, praying is a form of meditation. Definitely. People that knit and crochet and do stuff, and they're so focused on that one thing. What do you think they're thinking about laundry and think about that? When they are really trying to knit or crochet something, they're working on that. They're thinking about that. Their mind doesn't think about anything else. Meditation is trying to empty your mind of all those weird thoughts that come, and that sometimes they're useless thought because you wrote it down and you're thinking about it again, or you're OCD, obsessed with something. Again, meditation is not about telling your mind to not think ever about anything. You're not emptying your mind completely. The thoughts will be there once you quiet your mind for a while and you come back, you come out of meditation, you'll remember that you have laundry. You'll remember to cook a meal. You know what I mean? But you don't need to be reminded 24/7. You need to quiet your mind so you can hear the guidance that you're asking from the angels, from your guide. The help is there, but if we don't quiet our mind to hear or feel, then we eventually people will get stressed out and people can't think straight. Meditation helps on so many levels. It helps anxiety. It helps people that have a lot of fear, panic attacks. It helps sleep. It helps confidence. It helps you think clear and be more open to your surrounding, and it's wonderful. It does there's so many benefits. There's so many. Yeah. Hi, Tiger's Eyes. Hi, guys. Yeah, in nature, it's amazing. I remember in the summertime, I went out back. It was early evening, and I sat there and just looking. My son has a pool and everything. Just sitting there, looking at the flowers, looking at, and just yeah. There's noise around it. I'm in a city, but it was just so nice just to sit there, absolutely nothing. Just look at the grass and the trees and flowers. Just focus how the world is good. There's a lot of good, and we focus on that, and you look at that and you just feel such a serenity. And although I didn't go into a full meditation, it was kind of a meditation. I sat there probably for another 45 minutes for sure, because my son left, came back, says, "You're still out here?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's so nice. I'm just I didn't want to come in. It was just so nice. So again, different ways of doing something, but I mean, it's helpful. Try it. um, you know if you can help too with some sense. If you're not sensitive, I'm sensitive, but I do like a little bit of lavender, frankincense. There are some specific scents that can help also quiet your mind and help you relax. You may want to try some of that. I wish you guys were close. I make this meditation oil, and you can even try a little bit of rose oil. I love frankincense. That's definitely for sure. Mix a little bit of frankincense, and it's expensive. Mix a little bit with like fractionated coconut oil, and you can rub it on your third eye. You could rub it on your wrist and just kind of smell that, and just it helps relax. When you go into a church and they burn the incense, what do you think that does? It's there. It purifies, yes, but it's not just for the purification. It's to help people relax and be more absorbent of what the sermon's going to be about, right? It quiets the mind. It helps to be relax the mind and be more open. It's not that hallucinogenic, but it does kind of create a more receptive. And the smell. I mean, who doesn't remember the smells? If you've been to the churches, like the Catholic churches that do a lot of, sometimes it's overly done on the incense. I said the first row, but some of that, the frankincense is wonderful. Frankincense and myrrh together. I'm burning a sage candle today. Got this as a gift from one of my students, um, and it's nice. Sage is nice. So there's so many things you can do. Whatever that's going to help you get into relaxation, and then it helps with the meditation. Yeah, rose oil is good. I found out. I mean, I like rose oil, and there was a long time I couldn't be around the rose oil because when my grandfather passed away, there were so many roses in the funeral home that I couldn't. I didn't want to smell roses for a long time. Outside, yes, but not indoors. But I just found out recently, actually, maybe a couple of months ago, that rose oil can also help with meditation. That I didn't know. I was like, oh, okay. So I mean, I had created rose oil for my students to use anyways, and that was kind of weird because I didn't know about that. But I said, hey, you got rose oil, try it. And they have. They try what works for you. A little bit of frankincense oil and myrrh. Or if you have a candle, there's a nice metaphysical store around that they sell candles that are frankincense and myrrh, and they're very light scented. I can't have anything strong. And they're like a black with like specks of gray, but very light. I love, love, love that smell. If vanilla works for you, that's fine too. Whatever works, experiment, try different things to help you. Try. But yeah, rose oil, definitely try. Just rub a little bit on your wrist, smell, or you can rub it on your third eye. And don't get discouraged if you sit to meditate and you're disrupted and or you just can't meditate. Then that's fine. Try again later that day. Try it again then the second day. Sometimes make sure phone's off. Make sure that lock the door. Nobody walks in on you. You won't die if you're waking out of a state of deep meditation, but it'll sure be jolted out, and you'll need to really, really ground yourself after. And another thing too, after the meditation, ground yourself. So there's different ways. You can shut down after a meditation by just taking your hands and going like this and just, kind of shaking that off. Or you can get up and just stomp your feet a little bit. Or if you do this in the afternoon, you eat your meal after, it will be grounded. Because sometimes the meditation, you'll come out of a meditation feeling a little lightheaded because you're here, but you're kind of not. So you want to be grounded. And in a meditation, again, when you do meditate, if you see or feel, if you feel you don't feel a good presence, stop the meditation. If you see someone come into your meditation you don't recognize, you can say, are you from the white light? The universal law is if they're not a good spirit, they will disappear and never return. If they still stay, they're a good spirit. Although you may have a weird feeling, they may be a new guide coming in to really point out something for you that you may not want to hear or see. But if they're still around after you said, are you from the white light? You need to pay attention to whatever it is, the message or whatever it is. And you can ask, what message are you here to give me? Or what are you here for? What are you here to help me with? So I have allergies all the time. That's why you breathe in through the nose and you exhale through the mouth. That's why when I meditate, my mouth is open just a little bit. And there's also another thing too, is for sinuses, if you can do like the neti pot, but another thing too is the nose breath. That brings you a really deep meditation, is you just hold the nostril and you breathe in whatever you can. I'm a little stuffed up all the time. I have allergies. And you breathe in, but then you block the one that you breathed in and you exhale what you can. You can do that over and over and over. That will help. But I have allergies. So if you're stuffed up and you cannot breathe through your nose at all, then just breathe in through your mouth and out through your mouth. You can do that as well. Yeah. 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 Oh, you cleaned your... Yeah, help my daughter move. She has some carpets upstairs into her new home, brand new home, some carpets there. And just being there, and her dogs, one's long hair, one isn't, but I'm allergic to dogs too, and I have one. I have a cat that's Siberian, so he's 99.9% hypoallergic. But yes, when you have a sinus infection, then you can't meditate. You won't be able to, your sinuses are blocked, you're probably, it's affecting this too. So you just want to just relax. You don't have to try and meditate too much when you have that. The neti pot, somebody told me years ago, try the neti pot. She was from France, and it helps if you can do that, but not with an infection, because it'll burn, it'll hurt. But definitely when you don't have that infection, then yeah. But think of meditation as just sitting down and relaxing and quieting your mind if you can. Meditation is not about totally closing off your mind, totally forcing it. It shouldn't be forced. It should happen. You will learn to do it naturally. No forcing, no nothing. I mean, I sometimes will sit and say, okay, I want to meditate. And I thought, oh, okay, I've got a thought that comes. I'll let a couple of thoughts come. And because I practiced so long, and I just, I'm able to tune out and go deep. But it takes practice. It is a practice. But clean your closet out. Yeah, dust bunnies and just dust mites. I mean, even if there's no dust, you clean, but there's always dust somewhere, somehow. And yeah, people will get really, really sick. I don't know if you're using oregano oil. I like to buy pure organic oregano oil. I mix a couple drops. Mine is strong. This one is like stronger than the other one. Mix a bit with olive oil, and I just take it in a spoon, or if you have a little gel capsule, oregano oil helps as well. Yeah, yeah, at least that's done. Yeah. It's a lot, but I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed this. I usually don't come here on Saturdays, but tomorrow definitely not. My son should be home. It's his birthday. And yeah, so we'll see what my husband wants for dinner and figure something out. And I'm glad for you guys. I appreciate you guys joining. And like I said, I wish that we were all close. It'd be so cool. A lot, you got to surround yourself with like-minded people. That helps. This is just you just subscribe. Thank you for subscribing. Yes, I started a YouTube channel. I was thinking about it, and my students wanted me to do this for a while, and I was a little apparently nervous when I started. You're welcome, because I wasn't sure. Like, I wanted to do readings, which I do, but eventually I'm going to have more of these chats as well, because I like to help people, and wherever I can help. Somebody mentioned a few times because I talk about angels a lot, and they said, "When are you going to do something about angels?" So here it is, and you can go back and look at it anytime you wish. But over time, there will definitely be more and more. My sister's calling. I'm almost done. Hold on. My sister is calling from the USA. All right, I'll leave everybody go. Have a wonderful Saturday night, and I'll probably see you again probably Monday. So unless tomorrow I feel like coming on, I will post an hour before to give you guys time to see what who knows, full of surprises. Okay, thank you guys for joining. Thank you so much, and I love the blue light in the background. Oh, that's my mist mist thing, that mist that comes out. I can't speak about that anymore. It's you put water and it's got a mist, so it's like a vaporizer type of thing. So thank you. It has different colors. Yeah. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now. Blessings. I could have just called you back.